Angeles,
Hi.
Other action figures each sold separately. From
Record the her.
Jimmy, get the door. It must be Cousin Willie. Okay. Hi. What's up?
Ah, there we go. Something chill to watch. The following video is rated R and is intended for an adult audience. So if you're under 18, take a fucking hike, eh? As this video may contain adult themes and situations, strong language and opinions, good and bad advice, cannabis cultivation and consumption. So as long as you're a responsible adult, kick back, spark one up, and enjoy the show.
And works.
Hi everybody, Cannabeard Grows here. How the heck are you doing? Sorry about the turbine engine that's going on behind me here. This 8-inch fan is just evacuating the heat in this room. It's freaking hot. We're going through a heat wave. Happy Friday night gardening. It is What's Growing On, and today we're going to talk about well, we got a little shorty. That's always fun when you get a little shorty, a little midget, a little baby plant that doesn't want to grow big up like the rest. Yeah, it seems the four corners are doing fantastically, but I got one in the middle on both ends that messed up. And not any fault to the cube itself, but just some bad luck, I suppose. I don't know. My God, I wish this thing would stop. It's not gonna... Hold on a second here. I'm gonna have to fix this. Oh, no. There. Set it to a higher threshold so it calms down. Holy smoke! Yeah, a little short king. Hey, who knows? It might turn out okay after all. After all, it's no big deal. So, it is 78 Fahrenheit in this room right now. And my water in my tank is also 78 Fahrenheit. So, interesting fact. Hiding the water reservoir in a tent, keeping it separate from the direct light, only helped it from getting heated up beyond room temperature. However, it still maintains room temperature after a couple of days. When I freshly fill it, it stays cool for a few days, and it slowly comes up to room temperature. We're in the middle of a friggin' heat wave here right now in lower British Columbia, Canada. It's hot. It's been like 100, almost 100 most of the week, and a little over 100 for some of it. It's not as bad as it's been in the past, but it's still uncomfortable. A 78 degree in my basement right in here in this room is a pretty good temperature, honestly. It gets up to about 80 and stuff sometimes during the middle of the day with the lights on and stuff, but that's not too bad. That's not ridiculous. That's a pretty reasonable temperature in here. Again, the water temperature is giving me a little bit of grief. I do put ice bottled waters in there every once in a while, and I got some serious help with this stuff right here, Hygrozyme. The enzymes in here help break down anything that's trying to grow, really prevents anything like rots to happen, any bad buildups. It helps break down those things, at least from what I understand. Omega says happy Friday, everyone. Let's get a little check up on chat here for a quick second here. First in chat was Polar Caps, followed by Ricky Bobby, I'm wearing sunglasses here and not real glasses, Big Van, I Will Be Growing, Happy Dude, Crystal Clear, Emil, Caladeo, Omega Man. Hi everybody. You know what time it is? I think it's time for a dab. Yeah. Before we have a little look at this, let's have a little puff, shall we? I know some of you were puffing in chat there while waiting for the stream. It's my turn. Oh, the bee. Fucking hell. Dude. Stream Deck, Elgato is the company. Please fix your fucking Stream Decks. Every time there's an update, all my shit stops working. Every time. If I don't update and refresh to your brand new updated version, all my shit on my Stream Deck doesn't work, and it drives me bonkers. I know, I should probably update it, but I shouldn't be forced to update the dang thing, or it just completely... It's just a rerouter. It's just, hey, look at this picture, or hey, look at this sound. It shouldn't be that friggin' complicated. It drives me bonkers that it doesn't work. There we go. I've ranted. Speaking of getting more dabs, I tried to take my Freak Show and run it through my tumbler. And the reality is it's been so hot and so dry that the trichomes have turned to dark, shriveled up little husks on that. Which means pretty much my only choice for extraction at this point is butane. Or fuel, solvent form. And that's going to be fine. It'll make some really nice brittle shatter rather than a really pull and snap. But it's not what I wanted to do with it. I wanted to do something else with it, and I let it dry out too much. Not that I had much choice. It was just that dry. What do you do? It's that hot, that's dry. This is the CBD cheese, by the way, that I grew in this room the last run. You can get it yourself at Coastal Mary Seeds. Use my name as a code, CannaBeard25. That's a 25. Anyway, let's have a look at these plants. Come on. Let's have a little look-see. I can't even use my my number thing on the side. Right over here, I'd normally have put up a dab count thing, but... Oh, also my chat's not working. Fucking hell. What is going on with my stream today? Why is nothing working? There we go. Let me get rid of that one. And that one. Okay, there we go. It only shows the last 2 sentences, but there it is nonetheless. I got it sort of working. I don't know why that is needs to be refreshed like that all the time. Being a streamer kind of stinks for that kind of stuff. Things just don't work all the time. So, in the first pot, right here, we've got Alien versus Triangle from Mephisto Genetics. Doing good here at pretty much week 3 from seed. And then we got the little one right here. Same strain, looking a little bit harder for wear. Got a little tiny bit of yellow going on some of them tips there. Could have been a little tiny bit of nutrient burn due to the fact that I was running these on a 4 feedings a day routine. So every 6 hours it was feeding them. And I had a lot of suggestions in chat to dial it back to every 12 hours. So only 2 feedings a day rather than 4 feedings a day, as they were small and just weren't going to be able to drink that much. So we were kind of overwhelming the roots with more nutrients and liquid than they could ever possibly soak up and utilize. Now, it being a flood and drain system, it just kind of fills it up and then drains it back down. And we all know COCO doesn't hold on to that stuff too much, which has kind of given me a good buffer, if you will, for the fact that if there was a bit too much nutrients, which I don't believe there was, it would drain it out of there pretty quickly and not just totally drenched in it, right? At any rate, in the back, so this is 1, 2, 3 here in the front are Alien versus Triangle from Mephisto Genetics. And then in the back row over here, we've got Super Lemon Haze in the 2 corners from ILGM, or I Love Growing Marijuana. I really like this strain. I had this suggested from chat a couple of months back, quite a few months back, and I got some and I grew it and I loved it, so we're growing it again. These were my last 3 seeds, unfortunately, as you can tell due to the marigold here in the center, that was the only 2 that took off. The middle one sprouted, it came up out of the soil, and then just went and fell over and died. And this one right here is also doing kind of funky. And I actually checked, I thought about it, and I did a little check to see if there was a water difference between these 3, and there's no difference. Everything is the same. I think I just got some bad luck. And your eyes might have caught a little something there. You're like, well, what's that in the corner there, Mr. Cannabeard? Well, let me come down and show you. So on one side is the Hubba Bubba Smelloscope, I think. No. That's not true. That's not true. Those all died. We all put them in the greenhouse and they all died. These autoflowers are not liking this heat wave. So I'm planting new ones right here. We've got 2. I planted 4 on each side, and we got 4 popped up here. We got one little one at the very top there, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. So it looks like 3 out of 4 popped here, and 4 out of 4 popped here. Now, these were from Bean Breeder, also from Coastal Mary Seeds. Use my name as a code, Cannabeard25. One side is grape something. Shit, I wish I could fucking remember. Triple grape or double grape or something like that. Something extra grapey was one of them. And the other one over here is black tuna or something and mac crossed. Shit, man, I cannot remember. I probably should have done due diligence and even the slightest bit of research and looked at the packages before I started the stream here, because I can't remember now. I'm pretty sure it was triple grape and black sunshine mac cross, or black rainbow. That's it. I remember now. Black rainbow. I'd never heard of it, but I know a lot of people go off and off and off about that mac. So these are all going into the greenhouse once they get a little bit older. I'm going to let them sort of root bind in these a little bit. Maybe not fully root bind, but they're going to get about another, maybe a week in this area before they go out to the greenhouse. They need to be stronger. They need to have, like, maybe not that level of height, but they need at least 2 sets of leaves, where this is only 1 set. I'm not counting that little round one that pops up with the seed opening. That's not a leaf. I mean, it is a leaf, but just when you're counting leaves, the first ones that have the jags on them, that's 1 set. So when we get 2 sets of leaves, I'll probably put them out there. So we probably got another couple days, maybe a week. But this stuff over here is growing so well. I fucking love this system, man. You guys should seriously consider checking out Grow Ace. There's a link in the description, as well as discount code for this system or any of their other systems. I'm seriously in love with this thing. This is probably the best thing that's come to me and watering cannabis since I've ever started growing. This is better than this isn't your grandfather's watering can. This is something brand new, man. This is the way. This is amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. You literally, it is one of the best things that a stoner can get for their systems. If you're one of those peeps that wants to kind of set and forget and just check in on things and see how they're doing and measure things once every couple days and then just leave it alone and let it do its thing, this is the setup for you. This thing is really just check on it once in a while, make sure everything's been going well, and just leave it alone and let it do its thing. I can forget a watering. It doesn't matter. It's automated. Same with the lights. Think about back in the days. Remember people saying, "Oh, I don't need a timer. I'll remember. I'll set it for. I'll turn it on and turn it off and remember myself." Right? That's freaking stupid. Nobody's gonna remember on time every frigging day to do it all the time. You can't be expected to turn your lights on and off manually. That's just craziness. So why would you expect the same thing from watering? I know that it costs money to solve this problem, but if you're willing, this is probably the best solution I've found so far. One of the things I really like about this system is my trenching pin. I stick my trenching pin in here, and it blinks now, currently, between 100 and 300. It sort of bounces between 1, 2, and 3. And that's because the last time I set this, I set it at about 300 ppm when I was feeding this pot. So that goes to show you that these plants over here have been feeding and taking some of that level down, because the level used to be here and now it's blinking between the bottom ones. So the nutrient have been absorbed or being absorbed slowly. The levels of nutrients I can see in the water level going down. So some people would say just, you know, take a half a frickin' thing out and fill it up and stuff. I've been personally of the mind of just cleaning it out completely. I'm currently using Emerald Harvest two-part set. This A and B for growth, and then A and B for bloom, with like some additives like the honeycomb and those kinds of things. And they've been working really well, somewhat anyway. But I don't mind going through a little bit of extra nutrients because I'm trying to get rid of these bottles. I want to move on to a new nutrient line. You guys all voted for Advanced Nutrients pH Perfect in previous videos, and that's where I'm going to be going once I run out of this nutrients. But I want to use it all. I don't want to just waste it or throw it away or put it on the shelf and forget about it until it goes bad. I'd like to use it as much as possible. I'm not a rich man, so I want to utilize it. I don't want to throw it away, right? So that being said, some people would suggest taking some of the water out and then just topping it off and rebalancing it and checking this and just bringing your ppms back up to point. But I'm of the mind I might as well dump the whole water reservoir, spray out the inside a little bit, wipe off the probes and stuff, and refill it once a week. It doesn't take much more time than it would to do a half a load, so I just do the whole thing and just dump it all out into the actually, I'm having it pumped into the toilet. There's a bathroom in this room. I just pump it straight into the toilet, and then I pump in fresh water, and I can balance it all. And that's one of the things I actually also like about this setup, is I can have many hours in between a feeding when I'm doing a water change and rebalancing the water. I can let it sit for a couple hours and come back and check the pH and balance it as needed, and feel fairly confident that I've got enough time to get this water where it needs to be before a feeding, especially with this nice 12-hour cycle that I got going on right now. But yeah, this thing here has been a big friend of this bucket. They've been pretty mutually acquainted for a little bit here, and it's working pretty well. Oh, there we go. God, it is hot. I know it's only 79 in here. It's getting back up again. It is still pretty... It's hot when you can't escape it. You know, there's nowhere to go. My basement... This is my basement, and it's this hot. And to top it all off, my big, nice new air conditioner decided that it wasn't going to work this year. I have no idea why, but it's just not working. It just keeps blowing the fuse over and over again. It's like overheating, drawing too much power, and then blowing the breaker. So I got to have an electrician or a cooling specialist or something take a look at it. And I've already cleaned out the filters and stuff. It doesn't seem to be that. It's still happening. So I might have had a blown something in it, or I don't know. I'm not a air conditioning specialist. I just know the damn thing doesn't work. Stay cool, everybody. Except you guys in Australia. Stay warm. Cheers. What does chat say there? Some people use pH pens, but when growing outdoors, I've never used one. Do you know why that is? The main reason you don't need a pH pen when you're growing organically is because You're growing organically. True organics balance the pH themselves. I don't know how, but unless you're throwing in drastically weird water, like a 9 or a 3 or something weird like that. But if you're throwing in, 6.8, your soil's gonna deal with that. If you're throwing in 7.5, your soil's probably still gonna deal with that just fine. If that's what's coming out of your hose, man, you're probably gonna be okay. Especially if you're growing organically. For some reason, organics has a much better time automatically balancing out pH and can just sort of adjust it a little bit as needed, and you get less deficiencies or toxicities when it comes to growing organic than you do with chemicals. Or I hate to call these chemicals, but bottled nutrients, liquid nutrients over dry amendments, or pretty much if you're doing liquid over dry, you can burn it with this. It's almost impossible to burn it with organics. I mean, you probably could overdo it with organics and get a lockout or something like that, but that'd be very much your fault. You know what I mean? You pretty much put in an average amount of whatever they say, and you're going to be okay when it comes to organics. But when it comes to bottled nutrients, it's a little bit more finite. You got to be more on you got to measure and double check your measurements and stuff a little bit more often than you do with organics. And that's why I grow both ways. I grow indoors with bottled nutrients for whatever purposes I do, and then outdoors is like pure organics. It's all top dressing and worm teas and living soil and whatever else I got, I use Gaia Green mostly, and a little bit of this one company called Frankia, because I've been having an increasingly harder time getting a hold of Gaia Green stuff. And so that's what it is. That's where I'm at today, folks. My water foams out. My water foams out of the house. Ew. Get yourself a filter. Get yourself a good filter. If your water's doing some weird shit like that, get yourself a good chlorine, lead, and micron, just basic like 0.5 micron or 5 micron filter or whatever the heck that one is. There's one, I've posted it a couple times. If you want me to send you the link, message me on Discord and I'll give you the link to the exact unit that I use. But I've got them in the greenhouse and in the garage, and they do chlorine, chloramine, lead, something else. It's not a full RODI unit, but I also think those are bad. I think that takes too much out of the water. You just want to kind of clean the chlorines and have a basic mechanical filter to get particulates and to trap like soaps and stuff that would potentially, detergents and things that are in the water. I don't know what's all in your water, but I know what's in my water, and it's pretty clean. The water comes out of our taps with definite chlorine in it, but under 100 parts per million particulates in the water, and there's definitely no foaming or nothing like that here. But I don't know. Again, do what you can with what you can. Cannabis is, I like to say cannabis is not an exact science, but it can be if you want it to be. You can make it easy on yourself, or you can make it hard on yourself. I don't know. I have proven to trying to make it easy on myself has become hard sometimes. So there, figure that one out. Anyway, again, I'm loving the growth that I'm seeing here. Kind of a bummer. We got a stunted one here in the front. Hopefully it'll still produce well. Bottom line is we got 4 good ones that are going to do their thing. I am a little bit bummed that we didn't get 2 more good, healthy ones right in the middle there. A nice full run would have been awesome. I think maybe next time I do this, I will run all the same strain. I'm gonna just run a whole sea of the same strain, just all 6 of them be the same. That way I'll germinate like, I don't know, like 8 or 10 seeds, and I'll have some backups in plan. I'll have a couple of backups set aside. I'll even do some in the cubes like this or something, so that if something happens and one just dies or starts showing signs of being weak, I can maybe transplant one over and it'll do. But we also know how bad that transplant went last time, but that was because I pulled it out of I ripped some of its roots when pulling it, and it did not like that. If you can totally move your entire soil mechanism over gently without bothering it, you're probably going to be okay when it comes to transplanting autos. But definitely don't fuck with their roots, man. They don't like that. Anyway, folks, that's about all I got for today. I'm going to go make myself some lukewarm tea because asking for cold water out of the taps right now is a bit ridiculous. I usually just put it in the fridge until it gets cold, but whatever. I'm going to go. I'll catch you later. If you want to hang out with me more, I'll be on Twitch later, probably torturing myself with some more Elden Ring. So yeah, I'll see you sooner or later, everybody. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, let me know that if you got any comments, man, feel free to dump them in the comments below. And I'll see you at the very latest on Sunday for Sunday session. Cheers.